All right, so let's talk politics, not talk about either side. So, regardless of who wins this presidency, what we're looking at is Jerome Powell is the head of the Federal Reserve, right? So, him and the other board members set policies, and it doesn't really look like they're going to be touching rates until maybe 2022, maybe even beyond that. Now, who appoints these people? Well, the president does, but the president can't fire them. So, let's say that Biden gets in or Trump gets in. Neither one of them can really fire the head of the Federal Reserve unless they find out and try to manipulate the system, that there is some kind of conflict or neglect or anything like that, basically, right? They have to do something pretty outstanding to get removed from that position. And then you got Congress and everybody else that gets involved at that point in time, and it can get pretty dirty, right? So what I want you guys to think about is how this is going to affect the real estate market, okay? I don't want to get into what the policies might take place when it comes to airlines and all this kind of stuff with whoever takes presidency. I want to talk about our immediate thing we can talk about. That's the real estate market. Inventory is unprecedentedly low. Demand is unprecedentedly high, which creates this greatness in a market, right? It's not great for people trying to buy homes because they're competing so hard, but it creates demand. So even when the faucet gets turned on after the election, we start seeing more listings, which we will, there's still going to be such a high demand. And the rates are not going to go up because the president can't force the head of the Federal Reserve. That's why we have checks and balances to do certain things or change policies. And they're already taking action to what they're going to do and giving us predictions on what they're going to do in the future, right? So if you're worried about buying or selling or buying, period, I need you to remember this. I say it all the time. Rates are stupid low. They'll never be this stupid low again. I'm refinancing my house. It was a 3.25% rate, guys. So the fact is if you buy now, your payment's going to be really cheap. And then you have the secure ability of knowing where you're going to live because you're buying a piece of land, which is the American dream. You're owning your home as you pay it off over time. So that way, when you're retired, you're not paying rent to somebody, which I don't want to pay rent to somebody when I'm old and I can't work. That's a scary thought, okay? So at that point in time, you buy a house that's super cheap rate, super cheap payment. And then if the economy goes to hell down the road, but you can somehow find a way to keep yourself employed and work your job. And that's the thing, you guys got to have grit. Like, if we think this is bad that we're going through, the people in the Great Depression would tell you to shut the hell up. I would tell you from 2008 to shut the hell up because this is not that bad, okay? So realistically, if you're worried about your job, put yourself in a place where you can make yourself valuable and get another job. That's the American dream. It's not going to be handed to you. You got to work for it. But I can tell you, if you have the ability to buy a home, you're a lot better off than somebody that's paying rent because if the economy gets worse, you control your destiny. If you pay your mortgage, you keep your house. If you're renting from somebody and that landlord suffers from a bad economy, next thing you know, they could be getting foreclosed or selling that home that you're in, and you got to find a new place to live for your family. You're uprooting them from schools or whatever it's going to be. You don't control your destiny. And I feel like in this country, there's a lot of people that don't think about how to control your own destiny, and they live in fear because the media is telling you that. And you're never going to be happy if you live in that place. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, this is the time, guys, because we're going to go through recessions, and this will make your payment cheaper, and you're actually going to sell it and gain equity. And if you ever really have to, you can sell the house one day and make money. You can't do that renting. So regardless of who wins, we're still going to have a strong real estate market, and don't live in fear. That's it.